Bismillah. Okay, Assalamu alaikum Cam, and anyone else who might be viewing this. We're actually opening up these review videos and playlists up to the entire class. A couple of weeks back, Uzair and myself decided to make a few review videos just breaking down the foundational components of the Taqwa curriculum. And if you guys check out the playlist before, you can see actually all the foundational stuff that we broke down into little tiny modules, pretty much covering every single concept from every lesson in about 4 to 5 minutes. So we're going to continue moving forward. So every week you guys can look out for review videos, or every 2 weeks, inshallah ta'ala. So 2 weeks ago, Ustad covered the basic nominal sentence. And before getting into that, he spoke to us about the two types of sentences in Arabic and how to distinguish them. The first is a jumlatul ismiya, which is a nominal sentence. And a nominal sentence is any sentence that begins with a noun, right? And a verbal sentence, known as a jumlatul fi'liya, is a sentence beginning with a verb. So when it comes to the jumlatul ismiya, which is a nominal sentence, it's made up of two main components. The subject, which in Arabic is known as the mubtada, and the khabar, which is essentially in English known as the predicate, which is what you're saying about the subject. So if I look at the sentence, the car is new. The car would be our subject because it's our focus of what we're speaking about, and then is new would be our khabar. Right? It's the information about the car. What are you saying about that subject? So in Arabic, the way that you can tell if you're dealing with a mubtada and a khabar construction is by looking out for these signs. So a mubtada is generally going to be definite, it will be rafa', and it will match the khabar in gender and number. And the khabar will be the same. It's going to match, it's going to be in a state of rafa', which is usually identified by it having a dhamma on the end. If you guys go back, you can review your word chart and it will show you the 3 states of a noun. But anyway, it will be in a state of rafa', and it's going to match the mubtada in gender and number. And the only difference is that it's going to be indefinite for a basic nominal sentence, right? This is just something to keep in mind. This is for a basic nominal sentence. It can get a little bit trickier and a little bit more different as we move into more complex sentences. Anyway, let's look at an example. As-sayaratu jadidatun, right? So these two words, with the first one coming is definite. We know that because of the alif lam. The word coming after it, the second word, is indefinite, and we know that because of the tanween, right? So as-sayaratu jadidatun, they match in gender because of the sign of femininity, which is the ta marbuta, and they also match in number because there's no atun ending or atin ending or ani or aini and so forth. They're both singular. So it would be translated as the car is new. So what you might be asking yourself is, well, where did that is come from, right? Well, in Arabic, there is no word for is or are. Rather, when you're dealing with a nominal sentence and you have a mubtada and a khabar, a subject and a predicate, you drop an is or an are in between the two words when translating. So let's continue. Al-baytu kabirun. So the house is big. We know this is serving as our mubtada subject because it's definite. It has alif lam. We know this is serving as our khabar because it's indefinite. And they both are in a state of rafa', which we can identify by their endings that have dhammas on them. And they both match in gender, no signs of femininity. And they both match in number. There's no una or ani or so forth added to the ending. Let's look at another example. Ash-shajaratani jamilatani. Right, so this translates to the two's coming from here, beautiful trees. Right, we know this word is definite because of alif lam, and we know this word is indefinite not because it has tanween. One thing that you want to remember is that when it comes to nouns, when they're associated to 2 numbers or 3 numbers, it's not tanween that makes it become indefinite. Rather, it's the fact that it lacks all signs of definiteness. So there's no alif lam here, it's not a pointing word, it's not a pronoun, and so forth. So based on that, we know it's indefinite. The 2 match in numbers, we can tell because of the ani endings, which means that it's representing 2, and we know it's in a state of rafa' because ani is a state of rafa' when it comes to dual, and aini are a state are the representation of nasb and jar when it comes to dual, and we know that they are the same in gender because there are no signs of femininity. So let's look at this example here. Zaydun aqilun, which means Zayd is intelligent. So the first question that might come to mind is, well, is this actually a definite word because it has tanween? Well, one thing that you want to keep in mind is that Zayd is a proper name, and all proper names are definite by nature. The reason why it has a tanween is because masculine names in Arabic that are pure Arab names carry a tanween. They'll have a double ending, while feminine names will always have a single ending, right? So that's just one thing to keep in mind. So this is definite, this is indefinite due to tanween, and it doesn't have any of the other signs of definiteness. They match in gender, no sign of femininity, they're both in a state of rafa, and they match in number. So this would be translated as Zayd is intelligent. And yeah, this is just one more thing to keep in mind. Feminine names are also partially flexible. So you'll never see Fatima T. It's going to be Fatima tu, Fatima ta, no Fatima T. While Muhammad could be Muhammadun, Muhammadan, Muhammadan. Assalamu alaikum.